I will soon ask if you can see my screen. And as usual, we are going to turn off the mic. So if you want to say anything, you can easily just, um, so I want to start from the beginning because some persons, they still do not know how to load collab. So I'm trying to load collab from the beginning. Confirm if you can see my screen. Awesome. So let me zoom in a little bit. And so today we'll be looking at function. So I'm going to be coding from top. I'm not using a notebook. I want to code from top so that it can be very, very okay for you guys. So what is a function? Now, a function is just simply, a set of code that runs a specific task. So let me write it here. Function. And then I'll come down and say it sets or block of code that runs or perform tasks. So that now that's what performs a specific task, right? So you can always call a function to do one or two things. Or you want to we want to create a simple calculator. So I'm going to go forward, come back. You know the way we learn now. So advanced method and then come back again to something. Are you guys following? So would continue by saying that let me just let me let's say we want to create a calculator, and that calculator should find the it should do what we call square. So find the square root of this. Let's see, should I do square root now? Let's say it should just find the sum of two numbers. One is equal to, we want to impute, so we have to put int impute first number, something like this. So we are already used to this. This is not new for some of us. Can still put imputes, and then I will write second number, and then it goes that way. Fine. Then we can say that our sum is equal to plus num 2, and then we can print that a string the summation of num 1 and num 2 is our sum. Great. So this is perfect. So we can run this. So first number we'll put 2, second number we'll put 3. So we get the summation of 2 and 3 is 5. So this is clear, right? But what if we want to constantly call this, we want to constantly add two different numbers every time? And maybe we have 100 block of code already. We've coded this part, is doing it. So we'll now go, maybe we have different codes. Just down there, we have a lot of code down there that performing things. But now along our code, we want to add two numbers again. What that means is that we will need to retype all of these things again. So you need to type that from the scratch again. But that's where function comes. So function will allow you to save this code, like you are saving it in a place. And anytime you want to use it, you will call it and say you pass what we call there's what we call the argument. You pass the argument inside, and then it code again and give you an answer. So that is a function. So it's a set of code or block of code that runs or perform a specific task. So if I want something to do a specific stuff and I want it to, constantly I can call it to be doing it over and over again. And most time in Python, some of people's code are majorly functions. They prefer a function so that you can run it. So function is a very, very fundamental stuff that you must understand. Python, funny enough, has some set of functions, and we have been using them. What are the set of functions Python have that you guys have to this one? If we say nub1, let's say power is equal to nub1 raised to, now we do exponential now, exponential nub2, and we print power. So what we're going to get? We're going to get 8. So we are saying that if 2 raised to the power of 3, which we have entered here, is going to give us 8. Python has a function called power. So we can still do this like this. Power is equals to power. Then we just do nub1, nub2. These are inbuilt Python. Print itself is a function. Print is a function. So you see, we are still getting 8. Print is a function itself. Even print is a function. Length is a function. We can't do length of power anyway. Let's just do that, even if we get an error. But so we'll get an error because it's an integer. You don't do the length of an integer, right? But length is a function. Let's say, what is the length of power? See, tell you that the length of power is 5. Meaning it's going to calculate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it means that the parameter that the length takes, something that is there's what we call you can iterate over. You can iterate over. I mean, you can run a loop through it. It's a sequence. So you can find the length of a list, the length of stuff, and all of that. I think there's what we call size. Let me see size. Maybe I've forgotten that method. So fine. So length is this. I think okay. Python does not have some. And not two. Okay, I think some is from between function and method. So we have a lot of method. You've seen list. List is a method. Is a function. I mean, list is a function. Dit is a function. Int is even a function. Boolean is a function. Which other thing I want to have? Sorted is a function. Sorted is a function. Float is a function. All these are inbuilt functions in Python. Then set is a function. So all these things are functions because anytime you use list, it means that you want to convert something to a list. So it's a function. Anytime you use dit to a dictionary, integer to an integer, Boolean, type, we've seen type. Type is a function. Input is a function. All these are built-in functions. Print is a function. We've shown length. Length is a function. Which other one again? I've just showed you power is a function. I want to see if let me comment this line first so that I can run this code so that it doesn't give error. Let me see if put this pattern right. Python inbuilt function. So Python inbuilt function. All these are functions. Are we still together? Because I'm not seeing my screen again. All right. So those are functions anyway. Awesome. Awesome. So let's now look for how to build a function. Let's say how you build a function, because now we already understand what a function is. So let's say how to build a function, how to define, that's the best word, how to define a function, or let's say a Python function. Great. So let's say how to define a Python function. To define it, we start with the word def. Anyway, you see def, that is, you mean that what you are saying is that is a function. So def, then the next thing we'll do, so I'm going to put something like this, 1, 2, 3, so that I can write it first here. So def, we use the function name. You write the function name, and then you open a bracket. Now this bracket can take a parameter or none, meaning you can put a parameter or nothing can be there. And then you see your curly braces, your indentation, then you write your statements or code, you understand? Which can take a long place. Then the next thing you can do, you can return values. You can return the values or return results, or sometimes you might not return anything or not return a value. No? So the function can be as simple as that. So this is how you create a function. This is how you create a function in Python. So this is the format to create it. So let's create a simple function to greet somebody. All right, so a simple function to greet somebody. So let's say anytime a user comes into our system, we want to greet the person. So we can say user is equal to impute what is your name. Let's just do that. So what's your name? And then whenever the person enter the name, save it into user. They want to create a function called def greets. We can, funny thing is that we can create a function before this what is your name. So let me go up and create it. So def greets. And another tradition thing is that a function, when you are declaring it, it starts with a small letter. So I want to create a function first that does not carry any parameter. So that's why I'm leaving this inside empty. This inside square bracket, I'm leaving it empty. So I just want to do something like this. What this function will do is it will print let me say, okay, let me copy this, paste it here. This is what the function wants to do. And then it will do something like this. Print hello user. Right? So that's the function. This is a simple function. So each time we call this function, we want it to greet somebody. It will ask the person what is your name, and then the person will enter his name and then we just say hello, the user. So we can now go forward and say, okay, we've created it, I'll run it. Now, one thing about a function is that you don't know if it's correct or wrong, even if you run it. It is when you apply it, you know that it's correct or wrong. So I'm going to come here and say greet. So these are you call. This one, we just define the function. So defined a function without parameter. And this time we're going to just call the function. So in this case, calling a function. So now that you have defined the function, calling a function, or calling the defined function. Are we still together? Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Let me see. All right, fine, fantastic. So defining a function. Let's come here. Then we'll not call the function. Greet. These are you call a function. That's all. So let me run this. Great. So we'll just run this. Nothing is there, sure. Right, fine. So let me call the greet now. Once I run it like this, see, you see, it's going to ask me, what is your name? I'll say Pip Community. And then the next thing you see is hello Pip Community. So anywhere I go and I call greets and I run it, it's going to do what I say it should do, which is collecting people's name, Grace, and say hello Grace. It's printing it out. So that is a simple function. It's not, this is very basic. It's not doing much, it's not doing much work, not too much. Excuse me. Then the next thing is a function can have a documentation. Before I give you the parameters, maybe my leave that for Monday, whatever. But a function can have a documentation. So let me put that in this place and show you what I mean by documentation. So we can come back here and say, we can come back here and write something like this, do something like this. All right, this function greets users. That's what the function does. It greets users and leave it here and run it. Great. Now, anytime we come here and say we want to print the function, this is our function, because we want to know more about it, and they want to do dot should I, this thing just escaped me now. Dot underscore underscore doc underscore underscore. So let me run this. Great. So if you do something like this, the name of your function dot underscore underscore doc underscore underscore, it tells you what the function is about, which is what we have declared here. This function greets user. So it greets users. Please don't mind. Let's go from my background. So this function greets users. Can you imagine? So that's what this is all about. Now you can try it on another one. Let's say print. Remember, I told you guys that Python has inbuilt function, all of these things. So let's try it on some. If they have a documentation, you can say list doc underscore underscore and print it. Look at it. Can you see that print has a document, list has a documentation, built-in mutable sequence. If no argument is given, the constructor creates a new empty list. The argument must be an iterable if specified. So this tells you more about the list we have been using. We can even write floats. Let's see what that float. I'm not sure about all the function in Python, but I know most of them has a convert a string or a number to a float point number, if possible. SRT. String object creates a new Create a new string object from the given object. If encoding or errors is specified, then the object must expose a data buffer that will be decoded, blah, 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 is there. What about type? Type that I showed you guys recently. Look at type, the object type. So it tells you the object types. Type the name, blah, 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 a new type. So it means that with type, you can even change, you can change an object to be something else. So type the name, the basis, and the dictionary, anything. So you can change, you might change it. So let me mute your mics, guys. Let me confirm that you are seriously hearing me. Can you hear me now? Or have you been hearing me?
Yes, we've been hearing you.
Yes, sir,
Can
we are
you?
hearing you.
Great. Can you not agree with me that the more you go, the less it becomes, it's not, the more you go, it becomes easy. So it is the foundation that is very, very hard. So the less, so now you now know, sit type. Oh, so you can do this kind of thing. Wow. So that's that is it. But not every function has documentation. But why is documentation important when you're building the function? Practically when you are doing your class, your classes and all of that, you might not be, nobody will pressurize you so much to go and do these things, put doc on your function. But when you're working with projects and you are deploying your projects, sometimes you have to put documentation. Why? So that somebody else in the company or whatever can pick it. So it's not just comment, or you are documenting something so that the person can easily find, okay, what is this function about, and run doc on it. Great. So let's move ahead. We already know doc. Let's work with now a function that has that takes parameter. So let's recall our grades. So I'm going to put a test here and say a function with parameter. Now I want you to read what we call parameter. There's a difference between parameter and arguments. And I want you guys to go and read that. So I'm going to write a function with documents, with documentation. Yeah, let's leave it that way. So I want you to read, like I said, what's the difference between parameter and arguments. It's very important. This is what some persons don't know, but it's important to know. So let's look for what's the parameter. Parameter now means we are defining something that a function must work with. If that function will work, this thing must be provided when you are calling it. Like some of you go tell me, say, some of you will say, for me to go that place, if I not see this, if I not see that, especially people, especially single people, they'll say, for me to marry, if I not buy car, if I not buy house, I want to marry. If I never get this, if I not get that, I want to marry. I'm not go suffer person picking. Now, what does that mean? It means that before, if they call the function marriage, come your life, come near you. If car and house not they that, not they provided, it no go work. So you see that car and house at the time when, if na, as when you say that God, now you do that kind of thing. God say your name is Jacob. Before you go marry, you must get car and house. At that time when God they talk that thing, with that car and house is what they call parameter, meaning now so God they build your life. So you must get car and house. When they follow me,
Yes, yes.
Please
great.
come again, sir.
If you come again, I'll not get
I beg.
transport. I'll not get transport to come again.
Okay, repeat what you just said. Sorry.
No, I only repeat. I'm going forward in Jesus' name. What I'm saying is this: if there's what we call parameter and argument. Now I was explaining what is a parameter. I said parameter now something we say when you are defining a function, you the build function. Please someone can mute your mic. There's Oh my God. Uh, thank you. Okay, so what I'm saying is this. With all of now. All right, let me turn it back. Okay, I want everybody to evolve. Okay, are we together? Can you hear me? No, this
Yes.
one
Yes, we can hear you.
I need to carry everybody along because if I not carry you, you guys should mind your just mute your mic because if your mic is not mute, automatic mute everybody that will just come up. Is that a parameter is something that you use to define anytime we say person won't call this function, you need this parameter to ensure it. You need this requirement that is a parameter. A parameter is like a requirement that you give to build to you understand. So, like I say, for man, just say God say, your name is Joseph. For you to marry, you must get house and car. That house and is what we call parameter. Meaning God already designed you. When they design you, when you reach marriage, you say house and car must be available. Now, you don't reach time to marry. You can't go buy house. You can't go buy car. At that instance, when you go buy house, go buy car because you don't reach to marry. At that instance, that thing, that car and house is what they call argument. Man, go find that thing. When be like say even myself can't dey miss am. Character and arguments. Sometimes I do miss it. Anyway, it's possible someday. So a parameter is a variable listed inside definition. An argument is the value that are sent to the function when it is called. Is that understood? That is clear. Right?
Yes, I is understood.
Very clear now. So a parameter is something that you must put inside the parentheses when you are building that. That's that. Say that car and house must be when they build the function called marriage. Then an argument is something that very, very important that you use when you are now initializing that stuff. So let's practice this now. So let's say def marriage. Like I said, you must have a car and then you must have what we call house. They must print uh must print let's print something and say F key. Now that you have or let's start with R is equal to impute or let's just leave it like this. Let's just leave it like this. And let's just say print. Let's just say print this thing. Now that you have what's going on? Oh, let me just say. Let me write congratulations. Just leave it like this. Simple function and run it. And then we come do something like this. Say car is equal to impute what is your and let's just say do you have a car? Something like that. And then this does not stay really because I'm not doing any validation. Have a house, or let me just go back and some people can get confused. Let me say car is equals to Toyota and house is equal to, let's just call it, let's just say with the congratulations. Um, your you have this is what you get when you have to give from your head. You have a car named, I'll be this thing, named car, and live and live in, let's just put hotel. Let's put house there. Great. So that's our function. All right. So we can now, we've assigned this to this. So what if we now want to call the function? Call the function. We want to call the function. So if we call function, it means for marriage to work. If we do something like this, marriage, that's our function. I run it. See, it will not work. See what it's telling us. Marriage missing two required positional arguments, car and house. Meaning when we're building this marriage as a function, there was two stuff we said you must have, a car and a house. Okay, let's say we now put only car and run it. See, it will not work. It's still telling us that marriage missing one requirement, required position argument, house. So we need to come back and say house here and run it. Then it will not work. And pretty congratulations, you have a car named Toyota and live in Ode. Do you understand the concepts about these parameters and what's it called? A parameter and an argument. Do you get the idea now? Is my mic? Are you guys still there or they don't drive now?
Yes, we understand.
Yes, sir.
Very clear. Very clear. Very clear. Somebody say not yet. I don't know how to explain it again. No. I even use, for me to use marriage. That's very very simple for us. Now, does anybody have any other alternative to explain it again? Hmm? And okay, so I guess nobody wants to explain it now. Let's go ahead, guys. So which other thing we've done? How to do parameters. So let's do how to return a value. So
Okay.
a function. Let's do a function.
Let's give.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want somebody to explain this thing?
That was what I was asking. And nobody responded that.
Okay.
I move on.
Please, can you use addition?
I'll do that when I want to do some other stuff.
Thank you very much.
Say everybody will be Agbakoda now, so nobody there explaining again. All right, let's continue. Right, so I'll go ahead by see, you see the voice. Guys, I beg, let's continue his voice. So would I'm coming, let me get myself together. So a function with a return value. Function with a return value is very important. There's a difference between when you say when the function is printing something, and then when the function is returning something, it's two different. The function is printing something, which is what we have. Is printing something. You say print something, print something. Any function that is print. Let me go a little bit up because this is the most easiest one. Okay, this. If I come back here now, let me, instead of greet, I say print greet. You understand? And I run it. And then once you run it, you see it will tell you log none. Are you seeing none? Eh? Oh, this guy's class is a little bit dull, so maybe we'll close on time. Quite tired. Oh, see, find comments. All right. So it's printing none. So the reason it's printing none is because actually we have already said print something out. So using print when the function is already printing something is most like it looks like tautology. You know tautology, repeating something again. So that's why you don't use print. The value is only printing out something. It's just printing out an attribute, like collect somebody's name, print the person's name. There's no need just stand on its own. Are you getting it? But again, it's possible a function is not printing something, it's returning a value. It's returning a value. What if we want to create a function to check to collect somebody's year, and if you collect the person's year of birth, it should minus it with the current year that we are, and then once it's done, they will we'll do another function again that checks somebody's is eligible to vote. So two things. The first function, let me define it here. So first should ask the user for year of birth, right? The next thing it should do is to find that function. We find the age of the user by subtracting. These are you build a code. You list your step out by subtracting from the current year to return the age. So this is what our first right? So I'm going to do this. So these are you build a code. Some of you are doing software. These are you first of all write your spell it out. So people, if you are doing a job interview, they'll tell you what they'll tell you is this can be they'll tell you don't write code. Just give us your step. Give us your there's this word we used to call this when we were in school. Algorithm. Okay. So how many of you studied computer science? Studied computer science, let me see your hand up. I said if you studied computer science. Your mic, you can on me to me. You so most of you not study computer science. Amazing, no? All right, fine. So if you have studied computer science, there's what we call algorithm, and there's what we call flowcharts, and there's what we call pseudocode. Yeah, pseudocode. Yes, pseudocode. So those are terminologies in building sequential should be. All right. So I studied computer science anyway. And it's an interesting subject or discipline. But that's not the reason why I know how to code. Though. So if you say I talk let me know how to code. That's not the reason, guys. Is on your own. Okay. The next thing we want to do now is to define that function. So I don't want to bore you guys with too much stuff. You understand? I don't want to bore you guys with too much stuff. So I'm going to keep it very basic. If not, I would read, do this Python script to read the current year of my system, my laptop, to read it, and then I'll carry that value and use it to do it. But I don't want to bore you. I don't want that. So
I beg, do am, I
no,
beg.
no, no, no. To say no, let me just do the basic one first. Def, and if I say def, so what's the first function? It's going to ask users for their year of birth and then find the age difference. So it's not collecting. If you see this function, it's not collecting anything. It's just asking users. So it's asking users and then it's returning something. So I'm going to say def, and the next thing. So let's say def. What do I call this one now? So I'm not collecting anything. I'm going to say, let's say the current year. Yeah. Current year, we're going to set it to 2023 like that. Leave it 2024. And then we're going to say that impute. Now, another thing is based on the year we would do now. Somebody not go right 2000 and
50, 2050.
no, 2050 can work, no problem. You understand? What we if the person enter 2050, it simply means that the person cannot vote because the year, the current will not be positive anymore. It's going to be negative. If you use current year minus 2050, it's going to be negative. So we can trap that in age. You know, if age is greater than, you understand, or if age is not positive, there's a we don't even need to do that. So we can just say if age is greater than 18, or say if age is eligible to vote. That has trapped it. So anybody will enter minus, you know, go vote. You get, we can easily control that one. That will be an issue. But the issue I'm having is person does not enter beyond, if the person enter beyond 4, instead of 2020 something, 20,300 something. So meaning more than 4 characters. So there's a way you can do that so that if the person that your age cannot be above this range, you can do that. We can really do that. So we can say something like user is equal to impute. So it's going to be an int because we want to, and then we're going to say enter your year of birth. Are you still with me? You guys should confirm or unadog so.
Yes, we are. We did.
Okay.
I cannot wait to.
How you know they? If you lose, how they used to say it, whatever. So I'm coming, guys. I'm just setting something up on my system. Yes. So I'm coming. Just a minute. So use this time to um, okay. So does anybody have any question now? Let me just use this opportunity to answer that question, please. Hmm? Any question?
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Yeah,
Good
I
evening. So
have a
answer your question.
question.
Just ask about it. Okay. I can hear you. I can hear you. Go ahead. Hello. Hello, guys. Can you still hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you. Okay, my question. Yeah, you said earlier on that we are not collecting it from user, but along the code, do you?
I didn't. I didn't say we are not collecting anything from user. Did I say that? I said I don't want to read my system current time because I want to make it more easy. But yeah, that's what I said. Do you understand? Hello? Let's go ahead. I think I'm done with what I'm doing. So what I said is I don't want to collect this. I don't want to collect 22. I want the system to automatically read what is the year. You understand? So, but let's just do this one first. Don't worry. If I have that time, I will show you guys. Even if I say no, I'm not happy saying no when it comes to teaching. So I like people to think. So we're going to say age is equal to the current year. This is basic code. There's a lot of, in fact, sometimes I like this doing things like this. Minus, oh, sorry, no, this should be, I think that's what the person was saying. This should be year underscore of underscore bet. Yeah, so this is it. So I'm going to run this and then I'm going to say age is this, and then I'm going to say return. Now is when I'm returning the value. What am I returning? I'm returning age. So you see, I'm returning age this time. So that's this function. That's what this function does. So I'm going to do another function that says that this function is to check underscore voting. So because we want to check if the person can vote, and we need a parameter called age. They will run it and say, we will now do our test. If our age is in, if age is in range, because there should be a range to vote. So let's say range age, no, let's say range 18. You understand? Let's just say range 18. So let's just leave that at 130, for example. We believe that should be where the person should vote. Let's print you are eligible to vote. S, we'll just print try again next year. Right? When the are we together? Hello?
Let's use you are not eligible to vote.
No, we'll not use it. All right, so yeah, that's a good option. Let's use you are not eligible to vote. So it's another thing to code, it's another thing to learn how to speak English or type English when you're coding so that you can spare. So yeah, eligible to vote, you're not eligible to vote. Great. So this is it. Let's go. Sorry. Let's be sympathetic to the person. All right. And over here, let's do congratulations. Congratulations. And with apostrophe, so that will be better. I don't know if it's this system, but my other system, I can put emojis. I can't do that on this one. I don't know why. My other system, I can do that. This system, I don't know what's wrong with it. All right, so let's go ahead. So I'll do def. So this is a second function. This is the first function. Let's call first is our first function, and it is our second. It's a second. What am I doing? Second function. So I have to come back here and update my documentation by saying that. So I'll give space and write second function. So somebody should explain what the second function is doing for me now. Can somebody explain what the second function is doing for me now?
Function is checking through if the user is eligible to vote by walking through the first function to check the age of the user if it's within our second function of the age that we have, if the age from the range of 18 to 130.
No, great. So I want to even do something. Yeah, great. But I want to use return. Yeah, I don't want to use print anymore. It's possible to do something like this. Return f string. So it's possible to do something like this. You are not printing. You just want to return it. So we want to return this string. Yeah, you can do something like this. Return f string. What do you want to return? So in this case, you are not printing the output. You are going to want to save this. You understand? So we can even come here and ask the person, aha, this is what I want to do. We can come here also and ask the person, let's say user, let's put user here. And then let's return, let's do something like want to put your user. We want to also hello, somebody mute your mic. Mute your mic, guys. Let me go back to default setting. Great. So we can put user there. So I want the person to enter his username. So let's save the user of the person. They return both the age and the user of the person. So this will come like a tuple anyway. Let me not make this thing too complex so that you guys can understand. So let me leave it this way first. So yeah, we'll say the second stuff is doing is that one, it will request, this our stuff must request the receive. Let's just put that one. Let me put it receive. You go first of all receive. Is this correct? Receive the parameter age. Then next thing you go run control flow to determine if the user if the age is eligible to vote, then the next thing we do go return the output result. Then you leave it like that as a string. So great. So this is what majorly the second folder is doing. So we have done this. So let's just run this. Fantastic. So let's test. So we'll do something like this. Def testing. So we'll not do that. We'll do year. Let's call year, and then run year. Now something will happen. I don't like this. Let me do space. I want to show you guys something. So I will run this here again. Let me stop it. Run this one again. So if I run this again, you see, enter your year of birth. So you know you have to enter 200 and let's say enter 200, enter 2001. I run it. So age is 23. Now you could see that it's just saying 23. It just print and comma 23. What this means is that we don't actually say me printer. We say save. We want to save whatever is going to be returning because it's just printing it. We cannot use it again. We need to save this age when they return. We won't save it somewhere so that we can easily check. Okay, see what this person they collect to. I can come. Okay, my do this one. So we need to save this in as age. We can't come and say, the year. So run on this way like this. Fantastic. We write 2001. Once we write this age inside, let me come here and print age. So print age. Just as say. So that's the top of your return. Return is that it's giving you value. Save and so you want to do something. So this 23, we won't use it for something. So we will come here. Let's so check underscore voting. Now check underscore voting, the return value, the print. So since the return this we say voting underscore status. See, voting status is equal. Then what we want to do is we want to print the voting status. Now, this voting status, what we want to print. Voting status. Great. So let's run this. So you can see that it says congratulations, you're eligible to vote. Why? Because the age is 23. So we can now we can come here and format it and say your age is 23. So this is how you can work with, from not taking the parameter is returning the parameter to now what one function is already returning. Can you imagine what another function is already returning? Right? Very, very understandable. If I want to do a lot of things now, I'll carry the second. It means that this first function inside must run first. When it don't run first, before this first function. So what I'll basically do is to copy this function. Any of them, you put them inside. One must run first. The other one, when they decide to run, they go carry on. So great. So let me find that we read the year based on my Oga request. So we will never reach that level. That we cannot want to have. You can import like import date time. Hmm? Then I can say uh, date is equal to date time dot date time dot status and run it. Great. So if I print the date status, so when I print the date status, you see that I have something like this. See, 24. So this is the current date. According to this is the current date. Can you see it? Now they see amount. Don't know if you guys are even saying.
Yes, we are seeing it.
They look you with corner. Don't find me about that or something. I don't that comment. That comment is commentable. All right. Don't think that. I really knows the story. Will tell you. Um. Uh, the month and all of that. So you can just even get the stuff from we can do funny stuff. Yeah. And the next thing is it's returning two things and time, right? It's returning date and time. So we can literally split by we can literally split. We can say see the type that is coming out. This one I don't pass. You see why no one come here before. You don't pass class stuff, but let me just time. So what if you want to split by this thing? So we can still say this status. I want to do some date status. Hmm? So SRT strip them. When you're done strip them, split them. When you split them by space, give me the first part. So I want to print something like F string and say dates is, and I write dates. Great. So let me run this. So do you see that it says today's date is 24th of 2000. Remove this out of it. Great. So I already teach you. I taught you guys this thing yesterday. So nobody who asks question. I don't teach us what I did was what I said. Not it. Not grammar now. That I just convert this date status to a so you go split to 1 and 2. So I collect this first part because list. So since it turns it to a list, this is in the 0, this is in the 1. So I took in the 0. So I say okay. This I can extract. Pattern too sweet, I think. So how do we get current year? Date time, date status is here. So if I run this date status again, you see, say my time could change. This is 10, 11, and the seconds, this is what seconds. So I can come back here and do something like this. Dates. And I can do something like this dot year. So I want to see the year. So when I see here, you see, current year. Get it. I think this one also has dot month, but you can try it out. I forget this thing sometimes. is fifth. You understand? It's fifth. Have a dictionary of the 12 months in the year. Say, okay, 1 for January. Then I will run. If I want to know what exact month are we, you can run this and say if the month that you are returning is in the dictionary, this month is February. Can somebody do that as an assignment? Special. Eh? Anybody volunteer to do that thing?
Come again with
I
the
have
assignment
over
question.
30 persons.
Come
Date
again with the
dot
assignment
month is
question.
coming up. I'm coming now. That's what I'm saying again. It gives you the months. It's coming out as a number. I want it to come out as a. You understand? And any given chance that maybe anybody runs 1 to 12. So anytime, any number, if it's 1, it should be January. Is January rather than telling me 1 or 5 or thereabouts. That's it's not part of your assessment because I want to drop assessment now. Then by 10:30 we are off, and I want to show you a side. So let me finish this so we can do dots here. Day, I think so. So day 17. Time. So time function. So time is a function. Let me see if I can call it this way. Great. So this is time. So this is the hour, the minutes, the seconds. This is the milliseconds. So this thing. So this is how I will know if I want to greet somebody. Good afternoon, good evening, or good night. I can do something like this. So I'll do my range. If it's between this range, I know between 0 to 12, it's morning. If it's between 13 to 15, should be afternoon. If it's between 15 to whatever, should be good evening. If it's between 20 to something, should be good night. So you can run it like that, and you know how to greet somebody. So that's how you can build an app that greets somebody good morning, good evening, and all of that. So on the user stuff, the app, we already read the hour. We read the current time, the person's current time, and give the person good evening, good morning, good afternoon, any of that. I don't teach you now over. So let me just copy this here. So paste it here. Why is it not pasting? Control-V. Oh, I know copy it. So let me paste it here. Control-V. So here will now be this. Here should be date. Sorry, in this place now, I don't make one big mistake. I have to import it here. You have to import that time status here. Import date time. I have to import it here, date time. Then I'll say date underscore status. Date status, because that thing will ever run is equals to. But it can also work anyway. If you import these things, all this stuff before the function, there's what we call global variable. It can work, but sometimes it's best to just declare whatever you want to import inside that function. So that anytime the function is being called, it imports whatever it wants to import and run. So I think this is a little bit safer. So I'm going to copy all of this. I beg. Not get time to the copy today.
It is becoming more confusing this way.
It's not confusing. Just calm down. What I did was I recopied the function that we declared before. And all of these things that I showed you as practice, I want to put it inside the first function so that we can get the current here. Is that confusing again? All right. So, I will not do something like I'll just copy this. and paste it here. Instead of dates, I'll do it dates here. So this status.here is the case. So I run this code. I've run the function. So let me go and copy. So let me put it here. What was the last one we also did? We did this. Let me put that one here, and then let's print H here. So let's print H. This is the reason why I don't teach. I don't teach beyond class. It's becoming confusing. So that's what I was saying. Congratulations, you're eligible to vote. So the same code is working. Anytime this code is run, it will collect the person's current year. Whatever platform was used to run it, to collect the current year, and then use it to find, use to find the age of the person, and then this function calls, and we run this and put 1, for example. So the person's age 3, right? So guys, let's call it a day here, and we'll pick up something else. Maybe still we'll do more functions so that you understand, because it can be very, very, very complex. And the next thing I want to say is your assignment is ready. Let me put that up here on my screen. Just a minute. Let me put your assignment. Now, if the team has agreed that we would delete, like I told you, we'll delete folders. So if your folder is empty after this third assignment, there's no grace again. There's no grace anymore. So if your folder is empty after this assignment, we will delete it. Yeah? Is that clear, please? Hello?
Hi, we are here. We are following you, sir.
Okay, great. So let me show you assignment.
But you have to temper justice with mercy, sir. Thank you, sir.
Mercy has finished. There's no mercy anymore. That's finished. No, it's justice that we have. So there's no mercy again. If we had mercy, we would have done it. We are bankrupt on mercy now. Even the mercy we try to use for the data analysis is justice we are doing. So this is the assignment, which is going to it's just simple assignment. And then list comprehension, you work on it. They're very simple. This one, let me start for the first one. Create a list with this element. The step to do, add this, remove this, blah, blah, blah. So that's how you do for number 2. You do for this comprehension. So you follow the step, do for set, do for dictionary, and you are done. So this is very, very, very exciting work that I believe everybody can do. So you have between you have this weekend, because you guys have done. You used 2 weekends to do one assignment, so you have this weekend to ensure you do this and submit your drive. Now by Tuesday, the team, we are going to check all the folders. You have to submit on before Monday so that they can mark your assignment. Then Tuesday we check all the folders. If your folder is empty, If you instead of 3 assignments, you're having one, folder is gone. Instead of 3 assignments, your folder is empty, your folder is gone. Instead of 3 assignments, your folder is 2. You know what that means. That it has to be 3. Those 3 assignments must be there. If not, your folder is gone. You understand? All right, guys, that's amazing. That's all we have for you. So you know where you get the assignment. It will be on the actually get to it. So attendance is already on this WhatsApp group. Just do it here. So you have like 5 minutes of time to go. So everybody now use this opportunity. This weekend is going to be amazing. No class tomorrow. Somebody was angry one period, said it was training class. They did not accept him on the Saturday. And please don't confuse the 30 days with Python to the data analysis class. 30 days with Python will end May. By next week or thereabout, you guys start. You'll be grouped and you do your projects. Data analysis is so don't confuse, because somebody called me and said the evening class, so that's tomorrow in the morning class. I was so confused, I swear. I just like, all right.